Sparta Prague 1, Liverpool 5, a very comfortable night for Jurgen Klopp's side. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. It's the instant match reaction to Liverpool's 5-1 victory tonight in the Europa League against Sparta Prague. It pretty much sees Liverpool with one giant foot into the next round of this competition. We have to go through the formality, of course, of going through the second leg, which will be at Anfield. It should therefore be a comfortable night ahead for Liverpool. They should see the job professionally done at home, and it should be a very smooth sailing type of victory into the next round of the competition. Plenty of goals shed all around tonight, including, of course, a penalty from Alexis McAllister, an incredible brace by Darwin Núñez. Luis Diaz also got in on the action, scoring Liverpool's fourth, and then to round things off, Dominik Szoboszlai got Liverpool's fifth. Conor Bradley scored tonight, but not in the correct net. He was the one who was the unfortunate recipient of an own goal, in which Sparta Prague seemed to get a goal back after half-time had hit, but they couldn't make anything more of that. It proved to be nothing more than a consolation goal on the night. I don't imagine it will have too much of an effect in the second leg, but then again, stranger things have happened. But again, I don't necessarily think that that will be the case. I think Liverpool have got this pretty much tied up. We just have to play this formality of the second leg, in my honest opinion. We're going to get into the game. We're going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of Liverpool's performance, the result overall, the, again, number of casualties that seemingly have come about from this game, and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. And of course, get involved in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That'll make for great interesting reading down below. I'm sure that'll make for great interesting reading. So do get involved. Do tell me all about Liverpool, all about Europa League, all about the game itself, and everything else in between. Sure, that'll make for great and interesting reading. So please do get involved. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk the instant match reaction. Look, first and foremost, let me just say the team was a lot stronger than what I thought was going to be put out tonight by Jurgen Klopp. It surprised me when I was looking at it, and then I started to think about it more, and I was like, okay, so we're putting out a pretty strong 11. I would probably say we're going to go for the kill, and then we're going to start taking players off between 45 and 60 minutes. Go for the kill, get the tie done and dusted by the time we take it back to Anfield, and then we've pretty much got a scenario at Anfield like we would have had in the first leg, where we can then rotate more because the game should be pretty much tied up. And that's pretty much what happened on the night. Liverpool went for the kill very early. It wasn't exactly the best of performances, but as I've said time and time again in these kind of competitions, performances don't necessarily matter as long as you're clinical enough in front of goal, and as long as you're either getting a little bit of look at the other end in terms of the defensive third, or you're managing to put on a strong defensive performance. It wasn't exactly the most stable of defensive performances from Liverpool, but in the attacking third, they were lethal. So let's start things off there. Liverpool had already had a moment where Darwin Núñez could have opened the scoreline. Liverpool pressing high from the front allowed Núñez to go in on goal. He ran at the goalkeeper but fluffed his lines. That was a warning shot to Sparta Prague, but they didn't listen. They tried to play out from the back again, and this time it was Alexis McAllister who stole the ball up high and won a penalty, which he then stepped up to dispatch confidently and comfortably beyond the Sparta Prague goalkeeper. That broke the deadlock. Alexis McAllister's goal was very important, very vital. But then after the goal, Sparta Prague grew into the game, and they actually had the better chances. If it wasn't for Keeman Kelleher yet again putting in another solid display from him deputising for the absent filling in for the absent Alisson Becker, again, it could have been a different story. He was absolutely outstanding yet again tonight. Kelleher made a couple of very, very good saves to deny Sparta Prague from scoring earlier on than what they actually did. And the strange thing about it is that with all the chances that Sparta Prague were having, you just knew that there was a chance in there for Liverpool to really sucker punch them, maybe a little bit against the run of play. And that's exactly what happened. And it was a Darwin Núñez absolutely sublime finish that of course made it 2-0. Gets the ball on the left-hand side, cuts it on his right foot, and just curls and bends one right over the goalkeeper. A stunning finish, an absolute beauty of a goal, in my personal opinion. And then Núñez goes on to make it 3-0. Catches it sweetly on the volley, smashes it into the back of the net, and Liverpool are 3-0 up at half-time, and you're thinking, just step on it, go for the kill, and then you're looking at then Jurgen Klopp to game manage it and rotate some of those players ahead of what is obviously a massive, massive game for Sunday. At half-time, a little bit of a surprise. Only Joe Gomez is to come off for Conor Bradley. I'm hoping that was sort of the plan. I'm hoping it's not some sort of injury, or if it is like a precaution of an injury, or whatever the case may be. I was surprised because I thought more would come up. I was suspecting that Virgil van Dijk was going to come on for Konate, because we've seen that a couple of times already in previous cup competitions. We saw it in the FA Cup, for example, where Van Dijk started and then Konate came on at half-time for him. I was suspecting there'll be something similar in the mix, but it was 5 minutes after the restart that we actually saw that. And the only reason why we saw that was because Konate went down injured. I'm hoping Gomez isn't injured, but Konate came off limping. I'm hoping it's just a knock. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. I'm hoping Injury FC hasn't struck again. But it was worrying that we saw Konate go off. At the same time, Darwin Núñez also went off. Now, again, he's only just come back from injury. He's, of course, managed his minutes. He, of course, came on against Nottingham Forest, scored the winning goal there. He got a couple of goals tonight. I'm hoping, again, it's nothing serious and it's about game management and obviously player management in terms of his minutes. But it did seem a little suspect that he would come off at the same time as what Konate did. Konate obviously came off with injury, but it was 5 minutes after half-time. Why not just take them off at half-time? Didn't make sense to me. I'm hoping and I'm praying that Núñez especially is okay. Konate as well, because Konate has been an absolute beast and a monster throughout the majority of this season so far. I'm praying and hoping they're going to be okay for Sunday, but I am a little bit worried. So I'm going to be sticking very close to all kind of Liverpool sources with any sort of news on those particular injuries between now and Sunday. So hopefully no more injuries, or no more at least long-term injuries. I'm hoping that if the worst case scenario is, it's just a bit of a knock, but they'll be okay for Sunday. I'm really worried about the injury level right now. It is absolutely insane, the amount of bad luck we've had with injuries right now. I mean, maybe with these kinds of injuries, maybe you can look at Jurgen Klopp and go, why did you go with such a strong team? Why did you go with such a strong 11 when you know that there are bigger tests on the horizon, and almost immediately, with obviously Manchester City looming very close? So maybe you'll have to ask Jurgen Klopp that one. I personally don't necessarily see it being a really bad issue, but at the same time, in hindsight, again, with the injuries that we've faced this season already, with the injuries that we've seemingly picked up in this game, if they are to be believed, that could come back to bite us. That could really come back to bite us on that one. So we'll wait and see on that one. Shortly after the restart, I don't even think a minute had passed of the restart, Sparta Prague get a goal back. It was the ball over the top. Now, we had been struggling defensively a little bit, which is why Sparta Prague were able to get in so much on our goal. They somehow did not manage to score in the first half, but then they scored in the second half, and it was our own play that did it. It was a ball over the top. It was a run through on goal, played right across the face of goal. Bradley does well to get back initially, but couldn't sort his feet out enough to clear the ball for a corner, and he ends up putting it into his own net. It was a great finish by Bradley, in all honesty, but it was unfortunate as well for the young right back that he would be put in that kind of position. That was a worry for me, because there was a fair few times where Sparta Prague got in on our goal from that kind of direct play. It was just a direct ball, and they would just get in time and time again. And our defence just seemed very casual and calm about getting back. They were sort of at a jog getting back. It wasn't like they were sprinting back to get back. It was just casual, just sort of, oh, we'll catch them. Against better opposition, you cannot do that at all. And I think if they were to do that against Manchester City on Sunday, we would be in absolute you know, we would be in absolute trouble if that was to happen. So, yeah, a little bit worried about the defensive side. It was a little suspect at times, but, you know, for the most part, down to poor finishing, Sparta weren't really testing. Or the lack of threat from Sparta Prague was dwindling as the game wore on. Like I say, Kelleher made some fantastic saves in the first half, and you know most of it was down to him. But sometimes it was just poor decision making from Sparta Prague or poor finishing that ultimately cost them on the night as well. In contrast, the finishing from Liverpool was lethal. And there was a little bit of luck that goes along with that. Luis Diaz's goal was the prime example of that. The ball gets worked on the right wing. It plays inside to Harvey Elliott, who finds Luis Diaz, whose shot deflects into the back of the net. And it is a goal for Luis Diaz on this big Europa League night. And that should have killed the game off. And then you're thinking, right, more subs, calm everything down, control the game, manage the game out. Mo Salah comes on, he makes a cameo appearance, and he scores. He scores. Mohamed Salah scores. There are a few things that are inevitable in life. Death, taxes, and Mohamed Salah getting on the score sheet a lot. And he scores. It seems a perfectly legit goal, but because it's Europa League and because it's UEFA, for whatever reason, when you're watching it at home, or even in the stadium, you don't get the luxury of seeing replays back that have gone to VAR. I've seen still shots posted online. Now, I don't know if it's been taken something out of context. I don't know what the whole situation is. I've tried to find why this Mohamed Salah goal was ruled out for offside. I cannot find an answer for you. I've seen still shots. I've seen replays. I don't understand what they were looking for. Have we, again, been on the receiving end of poor VAR officiating? Have we again been on the receiving end of a dodgy VAR call, a miscommunication, a crossing of wires, whatever you want to put it? Have Liverpool once again been denied a clear and obvious goal that has been ruled out by offside yet again? Because unless I've been seeing the wrong still shot, I don't understand why that Salah goal was ruled out for offside. I really, really do not understand why that goal was ruled out for offside. It shouldn't make a difference, and obviously it didn't make a difference on the night. It shouldn't make a difference come the return leg at Anfield. But at the same time, we still shouldn't brush this kind of stuff under the carpet just because Liverpool were going to win anyway, just because Liverpool have won this game, just because Liverpool absolutely dominated. We still need to hold these refs and the officiating accountable for stupid mistakes, if this is to be the case. If there's something that I've missed, I'll hold my hands up and say, you know what, fair play, I didn't see it. I've seen still shots, I've seen a couple of replays. Unless I'm missing something, I don't understand why the Salah goal was ruled out. And it seemed very strange to me because no one was seemingly expecting that goal to be ruled out either. It just seemed it went to VAR, we didn't get the replay at the time, and it was gone. It was chalked off. Liverpool did eventually get their fifth goal though. Dominic Szoboszlai, again another substitute, came on and fired Liverpool's fifth into the back of the net. Easy night. Easy, plain sailing night. Like I say, not the best performance, even though the scoreline may suggest otherwise and may flatter Liverpool a little bit. Defensively, we were a little suspect, and I think if we were playing better competitors in this competition, we may have been found a little bit wanting in those defensive areas. But other than that, like I say, our attack was lethal, our attack was on point. Darwin Núñez with a couple of beautifully well-taken goals tonight. Alexis McAllister's performance was sublime. You know, Konate for the 50 minutes that he played was solid. Endo with another underrated, probably unsung performance tonight. I thought he was brilliant. Diaz gets his goal, of course. It was another poor night of finishing for, well, I would say finishing, but I think he was also denied by a couple of decent saves from the Sparta Prague goalkeeper for Cody Gakpo. I know he's had a couple of really tough weeks or a few tough games for him. Was really hoping he would get a goal tonight to boost his confidence up, but yeah, a bad night for Cody Gakpo, unfortunately for him. But for the most part, it was solid enough by Liverpool. Comfortable win, smooth sailing right the way through till the end. Sparta Prague did give a good account of themselves. Their fire somewhat extinguished as the game wore on. It'll be interesting to see how they sort of approach the second leg. Is it damage limitation, or do they just completely say, you know what, we've got nothing else left to lose, let's just absolutely go for it, and Liverpool should pick them off on the counter-attack very easily, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach the second leg. The second leg should be a formality for Liverpool. We should get through that with absolute ease, in my opinion. But for the Reds, it's on to Sunday. And like I say, the downside tonight, other than the officiating for the goal, if that is to be the case, is obviously the injuries that I was praying and hoping were drying up. But I'm hoping the Gomez one was a plan, and maybe at best a precaution. I'm hoping there's nothing serious with Gomez, because Gomez has been absolutely outstanding for the Reds all season. And I've really admired the way that no matter what role he's been given, no matter what position he's been given to play, he's just took it all in his stride and has just made the most and the best of that situation. So I'm hoping Gomez's injury isn't serious, if there is one. I'm hoping Konaté's injury isn't serious. I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with Núñez either. I'm hoping that was, again, some sort of plan that they had before the game, despite the fact that he was already on 2 goals and obviously was looking for his hat-trick. I'm hoping that that was a plan for Núñez, or maybe, like I say, at best, a precaution. I'm just hoping that there's nothing seriously wrong with any of those players that played tonight, and that everybody that we have right now is going to be fit and ready to go for Sunday, because Sunday is a huge game. Sunday is the biggest game of our season so far. Sunday is all about getting a result. You know, a draw isn't the end of the world, but at the same time, what a statement it would make for this Liverpool side to go from strength to strength again, to say, we've had this stretch squad, we're going to go again against the best, arguably the best team in Europe, the best team in the world right now in Manchester City. And we're just going to go there, we're going to give it everything we've got, and we're just going to absolutely wipe the floor with them. Fingers crossed that that is the case. But no, I'm hoping, really hoping that our our squad is as strong as it can be. I'm hoping no major injuries after tonight. And I'm hoping that obviously everything is going to be okay with the certain players that I've highlighted already. Like I say, some absolutely outstanding performances in there, particularly the midfield. Endo and McAllister, will definitely need them for Sunday. Van Dijk obviously will be back. Kelleher will need another outstanding game, I'm sure, when it comes to a showdown with Manchester City on Sunday afternoon. Bradley, I don't know, he'll be starting or whether he'll go with Joe Gomez, depending on obviously the Gomez situation. That could be interesting. Robertson will need to be as solid as ever. Szoboszlai, if he's going to be back in the team, if he's got the minutes under his belt, whether he's going to be playing or not remains to be seen. Harvey Elliott's obviously been carrying a lot of minutes in his legs over the course of the past couple of weeks or so, so it'll be interesting to see if he plays. Salah, I know he technically didn't get his goal tonight, but again, he was looking very dangerous when upon his return. Like I say, Núñez, I don't want to speak too soon on Núñez, but I think it's finally clicking for him. And if it is, everybody's got to watch out. And Diaz, like I say, gets his goal tonight, and I'm hoping that continues his string of confident performances as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of positives tonight. There's a lot to look at and be sceptical over, and still be a little bit of questioning over, defensively mainly. And there's some things that we've really got to be left to sweat on in terms of injuries. But apart from that, we should focus on the positives. A 5-1 victory for Liverpool tonight in the first leg of the Europa League against Sparta Prague. That should see us through to the next round, in my opinion. We've just got to go through the formality of just getting everything done and dusted at Anfield, completely wrapped up. We can afford to rotate a little bit more, I think. So hopefully that game will be seen as a bit more of a relaxing and comfort game, in which we can maybe just put a few more extra minutes into the legs of the players that are returning, and maybe get a few of the youngsters to have a bit of a run out as well. So fingers crossed that that is going to be the case for the second leg. Fingers crossed the injuries are going to not be as serious as what it may obviously become. And yeah, otherwise a fantastic night for Liverpool, a comfortable night for Liverpool, smooth sailing, 5-1 against Sparta Prague in Prague, away from home, of course. A fantastic night for the Reds. Those are your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of this entire Liverpool situation? What do you make of Liverpool's performance tonight? What do you make of Liverpool in the Europa League? What do you make of the overall victory from Jurgen Klopp's side tonight in a 5-1 victory in Prague, in which Liverpool scored, conveniently, all 6 goals? Let me know your guys' thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section. I'm sure it'll make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. But both things will always and thoroughly greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you and speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Come on, you Reds. Fantastic result tonight. Let's go again on Sunday.